Liverpool 5, Chelsea 3 at Anfield, a game fitting of the occasion. There were fireworks outside the ground and plenty on the field too tonight, with goals flying in all over the place. We're going to get into all of the details of the match, as usual, here on the Debrief, as we do for every single Liverpool game. But this is likely to be a shorter episode, as we know you all want to get off and watch Jordan Henderson lift that Premier League trophy. We'll be done before that takes place, so we'll get straight into the talking points with Echo writer Theo Squires, as you can see, alongside me this evening. Theo, we'll start with the quality of the goals, and I mean, there was plenty of them to choose from, but brilliance all over the pitch tonight.
Yes, the entertainment that Liverpool have been missing in recent games. They haven't quite turned it on since the restart, since they won the league. I think we can expect why. It's human nature, but they're obviously going to turn it on a bit more today. They don't want the day they win the trophy, a day they're going to remember for the rest of their lives, to be marred with a silly defeat. And it was just incredible goal after incredible goal, but a variety to them as well, whether it's a Naby Keita thunderbolt from miles out, Trent Alexander-Arnold trademark free kick, or a proper trademark Liverpool counter-attacking goal for Oxlade-Chamberlain at the end there. It's just Liverpool's Jurgen Klopp side at their best when they're attacking. Teams can't deal with them. Granted, they weren't the best defensively tonight. It was, like I've just said, the best of them meets probably the worst. The pre-lockdown Liverpool meets the post-lockdown Liverpool, with a couple of silly defensive errors there. But why have they played like this since they've won the league? The ability is there, the quality is still there, and it's a reassuring sign for Liverpool fans that they're not going to just decline next season, that they are ready and waiting to just turn it on again when new season comes underway.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a game to savour for the neutrals, but for Liverpool fans as well, of course, for obvious reasons. But I suppose one of the big reasons away from the trophy lift was Roberto Firmino ending his goal drought. How important do you think that will be for him?
Well, you could see how much it meant to him personally, just because we used to coming up with these silly goal celebrations, whether it's pulling his shorts down a little bit to mimic Ronaldinho dancing or his kung fu kicks or whatever. But you can tell it's played on him a little bit at times this season, especially I think since the restart, because he scored a goal against Atletico at Anfield and he thought, that's it, duck over. But since the restart, it's been talked about more and more. And he has been brilliant for Liverpool ever since he joined the club. But there's still that little thing on the shoulder in there, that if you've got Liverpool number 9 who's gone the whole season without scoring at Anfield, it's a strange one. Liverpool haven't needed him to score goals at Anfield because that isn't his role in the team. He's not the primary goal scorer, but it is nice when all three of them score. And there do need to be times when Salah doesn't score and Mane doesn't score, where Firmino does. We've seen that tonight. It's a lovely header from him. We've seen in the past. He's so good in the air. He's got a really great head on him. It reminded me of ironically, his last goal at Anfield in the Premier League against Tottenham. Brilliant cross comes in, and as soon as it goes on his forehead, there's only one place that's going. You can't stop it. He times the run perfectly. I think it's a relief for him. Whether he can carry it on next season and not have this weight on his shoulders remains to be seen. But then it shouldn't really play in his mind anyway. They're all quality footballers. Just because they go on a bit of a drought, I suppose is playing a bit lightly. It's one of those.
Yeah, plenty of good performances for Liverpool tonight. I mean, who was the standout for you? I thought Naby Keita took his goal brilliantly and did quite well, but there was a few to choose from.
Yeah, I think it's more attacking players, isn't it? Fullbacks. It's like what you've seen from Liverpool all season long. There are elements of that there with the quality, like Robertson and Trent. Both got a couple of really good assists. Naby Keita is what Liverpool fans have wanted to see from him. He's pretty much started the move, hasn't he, for his goal, winning the ball back in midfield, charging forward. And it's a strike we haven't seen from him before. But it's such a good goal. He probably quietened a little bit as the game wore on. Wasn't surprised to see him substituted. But it's another encouraging sign for him that he has got this talent in his locker. He's got through a game without getting an injury. He's made a vital contribution. And it's a big performance from him against Chelsea, against a team going for Champions League football rather than a Bournemouth or someone like that. The rest, it's all Firmino, played well. Good to see him get back on the score sheet. Mohamed Salah on another night, we're probably saying he's got 2 or 3 goals himself. It just wasn't for him scoring-wise, but he's still causing Chelsea lots of problems. Fabinho, Gini Wijnaldum, they went about their business. Improvement from them. It was a good team performance all round, really. The only blip is the goals they conceded weren't the best. A couple of defensive errors. But when you're winning and you're about to get your hands on the Premier League trophy, I'm sure they're not going to mind too much with 10 minutes to go.
Yeah, I'm sure Curtis Jones would have enjoyed his little cameo at the end. And of course, that takes him to 5 appearances. That means he's guaranteed Premier League medal. I'm sure he would have picked one up regardless of whether he came on tonight. But I suppose that was a little indication of what we might see next season. He came on and Adam Lallana, of course, didn't.
Yeah, it's telling as well that he came on before the likes of Divock Origi and Takumi Minamino. I think he made an impact. Like, he played such a big role in that 5th goal, and it was very mature from him to dummy for Oxlade-Chamberlain. Like, I think if we'd seen Mohamed Salah still on the pitch, he'd probably not dummied. He'd gone for the shot himself. But we've seen that time and time again from Curtis Jones this season. He's a very mature player for such a young lad. He makes right decisions. He's decisive when he's on the ball. And he was the one who started the move with the counter-attack on the edge of his own box. The fact that he is stepping up into this Liverpool team, he's making these contributions. It's one thing doing it in the cup competitions, but now he's got a goal in the Premier League a couple of weeks back, and he's made this impact tonight. And there are spaces in that midfield in those attacking creativity roles for him to push through onto. We've seen he can do it in midfield. We've seen in the 23s that he can do it out wide. He's going to be a very vital player for Liverpool going forward. And the promising signs there, fully deserves his medal.
And a final question then, looking ahead to next season, Chelsea do have a little bit of improvement to do to catch up with Liverpool. Does tonight's game show that for you?
Yeah, I'd say so. Chelsea are very much like Liverpool a few years ago, and it's going to probably be even more the case next season when you think they've got so many attacking players, but that goalkeeper's not up to scratch, that defence is not up to scratch. You can throw Manchester United under the same bus here. It's all very well having a great 4 or 5 players when you're attacking, but as Liverpool found out to their cost in 2013-14, if you're shipping goals at the back or it's not all together, you're not going to win the silverware, you're not going to win the trophies. It's what makes Liverpool under Jurgen Klopp so special, because the quality is throughout the team. It's what makes Manchester City so special. I think it will be closer. United and Chelsea will push Liverpool hard. They're going to. They've had these great moments during the season, but they've also had these blips with inconsistency. And it's probably going to be more of the same from them now. But there's that confidence there. With Chelsea, it's more that mental blow that losing tonight, they could realistically miss out on Champions League football now, which is remarkable to think when you've got Timo Werner coming in there, Ziyech has come in there, being spending 70 million on Kai Havertz. These players you think will be wanting Champions League football. So that's going to be quite a big sell for them if they're in Europa League with all these players. But Liverpool, I don't need to worry about Chelsea just yet. I think it's very much the same as it's always been for them these past 2 seasons. Just do the talking on the pitch yourselves. There are some very good teams in the Premier League and very good teams in Europe, but Liverpool have played them all and they've beaten them all. That's why they're Premier League champions, that's why they're European champions, that's why they're world champions.
Yes, I suppose tonight's game really did just underline that. I mean, it was always going to be a night to remember for Liverpool for obvious reasons. The main event, of course, is Jordan Henderson lifting that Premier League trophy. The first Liverpool captain to do so, of course, for the last 30 years. Hopefully you've enjoyed this slightly shorter episode of The Debrief. Enjoy Jordan Henderson's trophy lift, savour the moment, and Liverpool will go again next season. From myself and Theo, for now though, it's goodbye.